said that you wanted advanced communications that would assist, that advanced communications would assist students by enabling them to have internet access at home, which is comparable to school internet, and that many students do not have access by broadband at home, and dial-up is too slow to accomplish their tasks. A lot of folks are using this moment, in particular with some federal funding that's available, to really look at how do we do classrooms of the future now. How do we take, as valuable as this experience is, how do we take learning outside these brick walls that we're in right now, where it's not an 8 to 3 thing 5 days a week, but where it's a constant thing. And some different school systems I know are playing with ideas like giving kids a laptop to take home with them and use and stuff like that, and that's great where the resources are available. But basically, how can you use that then to get parents more involved at home through home learning opportunities? So that's the direction it's moving in, and if our workforce in the future, if they're not technology savvy and technology literate, not only are those jobs, I mean, those jobs are not going to be in Knoxville, they're going to be in France, or they're going to be in India or China, because the emerging economy that's coming out, people don't care necessarily where you are unless there's a aspect where you have to move something from one place to another. They care about the local workforce and whether they're skilled labor and whether they can do what you need done. So it's a little aspect on that. And then these are the sectors that I'm missing some information for. So again, if you can help on this, please stick around. So finally, strategic actions. And we're coming toward the part where we're going to talk about federal broadband stuff and then kind of open it up for discussion. Your strategic actions that you came up with for business and industry over the next 3, 4, 5 years were to develop a technology committee from the business and industry perspective and to host a technology fair. In government, you said you want countywide needs assessment for internet access, countywide inventory of all assets, to track broadband providers to compete for reliable and affordable countywide access, and an action plan with a timeline. Guess what? The needs assessment and the inventories assessment, that's what we're doing right here. So you're already moving down the road on that, and we want to help you attract some of these broadband providers. Healthcare, you said that ways to network all Cocke County medical services, the clinics, the ambulance, the service, the hospital, get all these folks involved so that it's easier to do direct admit to the hospital from local clinics, or so that maybe doctors can already be reading charts on folks before the ambulance even pulls in. Those are some aspects there. Those are their goals. Tourism, recreation, and parks. They said first they want availability, then they want to educate folks, whether that's probably the business owners, and then implement a plan on that. K through 12 said that continued technology training and support was one of their strategic actions. For the improvement of school websites and moving web publishing from the district level to the school level, continue to offer community computer classes and possibly extend classes to the school level for parental learning. Or beyond the school level, I think is what that means at home. Agriculture, higher education, missing data for those, and libraries. And then community-based organizations did say that they wanted to create a CCP portal. Anybody know what that is? Oh, there we go. There we go. I should have known that, shouldn't I, Sherry? Okay. What kind of portal? Can you elaborate on that?
Well, that was just one thing that we talked about internally. I'm not sure if I kind of missed.
Oh, okay.
But we formed the Cocke County Partnership in 2005. And right now we have 3 separate websites.
I see.
So we need a portal to
merge all that.
Everybody. And then we are currently updating all of our websites and changes doing this first, where we can get community-based organizations can have some
a place to go. Okay. Very good. Well, what else? Now that's what we go. We've been through the current state, the future vision, and the strategic actions. What else is out there that was left off, or that should have been included or wasn't clarified enough from any of those perspectives? You got any ideas or suggestions, or anybody who was here and remembers, hey, we talked about this and you didn't mention it? No? Pretty thorough?
Well, the education technology classes are only offered at one school,
Which one's that?
Newport Grammar.
Okay, Newport Grammar is the only one that has technology education classes.
And that's only for teachers.
Okay. Yeah, I think,
We have one to be taken.
So they're doing them now.
so this,
Teach.
so what do we figure out? Who's this, are you this education technology trainer? Is that you?
Well, I do for Newport Grammar.
Okay,
Patricia Schultz does it for Cocke.
okay.
I know that we had it, we've opened it once for other people, but we do it every day after school for 4 hours.
And that's for the teachers.
We do it for up to 4 hours, depending on what it is.
Same thing with Patricia, she's training the teachers, not the students.
She works, she trains the teachers, and the teachers are trained to work with the schools.
Right, okay. Okay. So now, she's just, is she servicing all the county schools? Okay. Anything else we missed, overlooked, or wasn't talked about enough? I was like, get on to how we're going to get access. Okay, federal stimulus package. Regardless of how you might feel about it overall or different parts of it, there's about $7.2 billion in it for various broadband improvements, including almost $7 billion for broadband infrastructure. That's in 2 pots. NTIA, which is part of the Department of Commerce, they've got $4 billion. That's the bulk of the money. It requires a 20% non-federal match. So some other source of funds that's not coming from Uncle Sam. It can be state funds, local funds, some other kind of involvement, provider fronting those. And then basically USDA RUS, that's Rural Utility Service, they've got $2.5 billion in that, and an area has to be 75% rural. I think we have that problem to qualify for those. I will say that on this one, and again, they're going through the rule-making process, so sometimes you don't really know along the way exactly what the final product's going to look like. But they have said that previous recipients of the rural electrification money are going to get priority. Now, whether priority means, okay, we have 180 applicants, we're going to, and 120 of those are past RUS recipients, so we're going to fund all of those before we fund any of the others, or whether that means you get 5 extra points on your applications, we're not sure yet.
Corey, are these grants going to be made available to providers?
Yes, and I'm going to get to that. This is basically, this is in Department of Commerce, this is in Department of Ag, and then these are the goals to close the broadband gap. So hopefully that means underserved or unserved before underserved. To stimulate investment by requiring companies to take federal money to invest their own funds as well. So basically, that's a private provider. If they could get the funds, they're getting 80% of the project funding. So that's part of it, of course, to create jobs. I love the way that's number 3 on the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. It's going to save us all. Number 3 is to create jobs. And to take steps to ensure that schools, universities, libraries, community centers, job training centers, hospitals have high-speed internet access. And basically, that's some of these funds right here. It can spill over into these other pots, but you see like a Sustainable Broadband Adoption Grant and Public Computing Center, particularly, that's not, obviously, it's $200 million is a small amount in that. I can't believe I'm saying that. But anyway, and then to encourage broadband, encourage demand for broadband, which is largely this part. So those are the goals of that. These are the folks that are going to be eligible for. And this is basically a state or political subdivision thereof, so city, county, whatever.